The reason for the crutch, I had surgery on March 2nd. I wish I could tell you I had surgery on my foot. I wish I could tell you I had some fancy exotic foot disease like polio, but it's not. But polio can be bad if you don't get it worked on. It can go up your leg and give you a bad case of measles. And it can be very bad on you. Don't let it get bad. And it could get even worse. It can go even further up your leg and give you a bad case of smallpox. And I was so afraid to have that. I had to spend 6 days in the hospital, and I had never been in a hospital before, and the only hospitals I had ever seen were on TV and in the X-rated videos I've seen before. So I didn't know what to expect, except I was looking forward to seeing some very pretty nurses. And my first night there, I wasn't disappointed. My first nurse, she was very pretty, blonde hair, blue eyes. And so the next morning I was very excited to see what my new nurse would be like. Had all these anticipations. And then my nurse George walked in. And that's when I learned you just don't know what to expect at the hospital. One thing I hated at the hospital was when I needed a pain pill, they'd always ask, what's your pain level? 1 to 10. You've probably heard that before. 1 being the lowest, hardly any pain, or 10 being unbearable. And I hated coming up with a number of what my pain was. And I decided, I thought it would be a lot better if they used the alphabet. They should measure your pain from the letters A to F. If it's not hurting, they ask you, say, A, it's fine. And if it's really hurting bad, you say, it effing hurts. I want an effing pain pill, and I want an effing right now. They'll get the message. They really will. When I was in the hospital, I had to stay with my foot up the whole time, keep it elevated, and it made it hard to wash or go to the bathroom and things like that. And it was about my 3rd night there. I was feeling a little grungy. I was getting a little itchy down in the man region. So I looked over and on a piece of equipment that was right there, there was a bottle of baby wipes. So I grabbed one and I used it, and it started to burn real bad. I turned the bottle around and it said, antibiotic bleach wipes. And it hurt, it started burning. Now I was too embarrassed to call a nurse. I sat there for a few minutes and thought I might do something really bad. So I finally pushed the help button and the nurse came. It was the same beautiful nurse I saw the first night. And I was thinking about, oh no, she's gonna have to see where the problem is. I started getting a little nervous I might get an erection. And she came over and she looked at it. She told me she'd have to go get some cream to put on it. And seeing her with her beautiful blue eyes looking down on my red badge of discouraged, I got more embarrassed, more nervous that I might get an erection. So as she left, I was thinking, what can I do? What can I do? Think of something, get it out of your brain, think of something. No matter what I could think of, I couldn't stop worrying about it, having that erection. Finally, as right before she came back through the door, I thought of kittens in a blender. Kittens in a blender. Okay, she came back, and she looked more beautiful than ever. Kittens in a blender, kittens in a blender, kittens in a blender. And it worked. I felt relieved. She started to put the cream on, and it felt so cool and so good. And then again, I saw those blue eyes. The kittens in the blenders weren't working anymore. What can I do? Think fast, think fast. What can I do? No. I started thinking of something even worse, something more horrifying, something more terrible than kittens in a blender. Then I thought of it, and all my arousal, the feelings of arousal as they went away, I'd thought about my ex-wife. I took care of it. I learned something else in the hospital. I'm diabetic now. Yeah, I joined the diabetic club. There's so many products for diabetics. I had to take lessons. I had to learn how to check my blood. I had to learn how to take shots. The only shots I knew how to take involved tequila. But now I had to learn all this new stuff. There's so many products for diabetics. There's diabetic food. There's diabetic candy. There's diabetic shoes and socks. I even found out there's diabetic condoms.